This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. Today we have an LG washing machine front loader that's making a growling sound during agitation and during spin, and sometimes it doesn't spin really well. It's like you can hear the motor spinning, but the spin basket doesn't move as it should. And this is due to some worn out plastic splines on the rotor. Pretty easy to fix. You can get the part pretty fast and easily and not hard to put in at all. We got the machine unplugged. We're taking out these Phillips head screws from the back plate. There's 4 of them. And then we can just grab the plate and pull it right off. Underneath it is the rotor, the thing we have to replace, this big round thing. There's only one bolt holding it on. And you can use a socket to take it off, or if you have just a crescent wrench, it works. I've got my standard head screwdriver in to hold the rotor still against one of the nuts in the back, and I'm using the lefty-loosey idea here to loosen the big bolt. And the first couple of turns are going to be kind of hard. You have to use some force, and then it should come off pretty easy. I noticed when I was spinning it, since the splines on the rotor were stripped, the rotor was kind of spinning with the bolt, so I was able to grab the rotor tightly with my hand as I spun off that bolt, and that really made it easier. So once you get this bolt off, all you got to do is put on the new rotor and then put on the bolt, and you're pretty much done, and it solves the problem. The reason they get stripped out is that the machine is asked to wash something that's too heavy, like a big blanket or a big bathroom mat. They absorb too much water, they're too heavy, and the motor tries to turn the spin basket, but the spin basket can't move as fast as the motor's trying to push it, so something has to give, and it's the plastic splines that are on the rotor. So here we got the bolt off. I'm going to wiggle it off. The magnets are going to kind of hold it, so you got to tug at it to get this thing off. Wiggle and tug. There we go. And there is our splines, these plastic things right here, and they're really wiped out on this one. So this thing really got overloaded. But again, really easy to put a new one on. Here is the rotor that's available from Amazon Prime. They can get it to you really fast. And we're going to provide a link for you too. And the link is also in the description. And you get the part pretty cheap. And once you have it easy to put on, here's the link. And here's the brand new splines that look really nice, not stripped at all. So we're going to put that in position, and we're going to push in and wiggle, push in and wiggle, and it'll kind of feed itself on. Give it a little force if it's not going on, but you want to push it down as far as you can toward the front of the washing machine until it feels like it's on pretty flat. And then it's good to add the bolt back in. Once you get the bolt on, you do want to get it pretty tight because you don't want that bolt to get loose during operation. So I'm just putting it on by hand at first. And if you don't overload these machines, this won't happen. You won't ever have to replace the rotor. So now I've got the crescent wrench, and I'm just spinning the wrench real quick, and using the principles of inertia, I'm able to get a lot of good turns without the rotor moving. Eventually though, near the end, you'll have to keep the rotor from moving by using your standard head screwdriver to lock it against one of the bolts on the stator behind it, and then you can really get it tight. So the really common problem for the LG washing machine, the direct drive system, it's a really good system, but like any machine, when they get overloaded, something's got to give. And luckily it's these plastic splines because they're pretty cheap to get a new rotor as opposed to a whole new machine. So we're going to lock this rotor in position, then we're going to get our wrench on there and get it even tighter. So there we go, now it's locked. And again, you can use a crescent wrench or a socket, whatever you have in your toolbox. Just make sure you get it on tight here at the end. And that's about it. We're just going to put that metal panel that covers the back in position. We're going to put the bottom in first. It has little slots that the bottom of the panel will fit into the frame, and at the top it also has those slots too. You have to kind of bend the panel out slightly to get it to fit into the slots, and then you just add those screws back in. And after that, you're going to notice that your machine spins really good, agitates really good, it doesn't have a growling sound, and it's going to wash your clothes really well. Just again, you want to avoid the heavy stuff. Bathroom mats, blankets, sleeping bags, those are all trouble. So we're just securing those screws, and I took off the dryer vent just so I could have a little better access, putting that back on. And here's the part number that came with it, as well as the link to get it from Amazon. And we're testing it out now. It's nice and smooth, it's not making the growl, and the machine has been renewed. So I hope this works for you too. You get your LG going again. And thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance.